Hey, this is Barry bringing you another blessing from the Bear's Den. Sheltered in place. Stay at home. Sometimes I feel like I'm being grounded for something I didn't do, but I also understand the severity of the disease we're facing and what it is our government's trying to get us to do so that we can help flatten the curve with that disease. And I pray that you are making every effort to be sheltered in place and to stay at home. When I'm at home, I find myself with some free time as I'm sheltered in place. And I have to choose in my mind which hobby I'm going to use to take up that time. I've discovered in picking up some old hobbies that what's solid in my mind about how good I was at that hobby in my youth, that maybe in my age now, I'm finding that when my hands are placed upon whatever instrument or tool or ball that I'm using, that I'm not quite as efficient as I used to be. My golf swing's certainly not as smooth as it used to be. My archery form needs some work. My work on with my woodwork, I need to be a little more patient and slow down. But what I've realized over the last few days is as I pick up those hobbies and I start to do those things, I realize that with practice, I start to see the old form come back. I see that my arrows shoot a tighter group, or that my golf balls straighten out a little bit in flight, and what I'm forming on the wood seems to take shape quicker and faster and smoother than when I struggled at first. Which made me think about my Bible reading this week. I've really been reading the book of Timothy because I like the way that Paul speaks to Timothy and encourages him in his journey. And being a minister in these challenging times, I'm trying to find new ways of doing things. And Paul reminds Timothy, I love this line, he reminds him to be diligent in all things, in these matters. Give yourself wholly to them so that everyone may see your progress. And what he's reminding Timothy is that to be diligent in the spiritual grounding of his faith, his prayer works and his preaching and his teaching, and administering the gospel to the people that he's with. I wonder if we're doing that during this time. What a great time for us to pick up our Bible and open it up and read our favorite book again. Or to maybe dive into that part of the Bible where we struggled and ask God for guidance. And maybe in that guidance, God will open a new insight in our life. Because I've found in my hobbies that the more I practice, the better I get. And the better I get, the better I feel about me. I think if we open our Bible during this time and we ground ourselves in our truths of faith that are found in the Bible, if we'll just continue to practice that and continue to pray and continue to listen to God in our prayer, then we too will find ourselves a little stronger in our faith, with a little less fear in our lives, and a little more strength to face the day. And we'll come to the understanding that we know God is with us in all things. And if we can exude that to the people that we see and the people that we meet in our times when we do get out, then maybe it'll help keep a calm in our society. And maybe we'll all grow stronger and we'll grow better together. So I encourage you this week to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice reading. Practice communicating with God. And practice listening and believing that God is with you in all that you do. I pray that you have a great week. I pray that you find peace where you are. And I pray that someday soon we get to see each other face to face and are allowed to embrace one another with a hug. Remember this, God loves you, and so do I.